It's Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Piofiore. Oh my god, I love this game so much. I am having such a fucking good time, are you? My god. But I don't know what Nicholas' deal is. Like, why is he constantly doing that? Like, is he trying to help us? Is he trying to hurt Dante? Is he trying to hurt us and Dante? Is he trying to undermine Dante, like, as a romance option or just, like, as a fucking mafia? But, like, what? And obviously our birthmark is important, and that's why we're here, and blah, 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 and that's why Dante's not telling us shit. Because we're, like, the special some shit. And that's gonna come later. So, I understand, like, why he's kind of lying to us and avoiding telling us stuff. We can't handle the truth right now. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is. But, like, why did he lie about Sister Sophia instead of being... Did he think that if he said she was dead, that I'd be more like, okay, well, I got nothing to go back to. But, like, if he was like, no, she's fine, I'd be like, all right, I have to get back then. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'd be, like, so upset that she was dead that it'd be harder for me to want to go back. Like, yes, I want to go back because all my family and friends and everybody's there, and that's my life. But if everyone's there complete, Sister Sophia, I definitely want to go back. But if Sister Sophia's dead, it's like, you know what? If I avoid going back for a little while, it might be easier. So it just becomes easier, then I'd stay more willingly for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? And then eventually you're like, well, now I live here now. It's been 10 years. I guess I'm here now. You know? Instead of just telling me, everyone's fine, you can't go back, sit down, shut up. Which you think would have been better. Everyone's fine. Sister Sophia's fine. Everyone's fine. I'm sorry you can't talk to them, but we just don't want them to know where you are in case the loud shit comes after you and we think they're going to kill you and like blah, 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 and we'll figure it out and just, you know. Or like, why can't I write them letters? Like, I'm sure that it's something to do with the magic fucking quote-unquote birthmark. That's not really a birthmark, but like, you know what I mean? The mark that we have. Okay, I mean, maybe it's a birthmark and we're like Jesus special or some kind of shit. But like, it's a fleur-de-lis. Birthmarks don't come like that. So it was like a permanent branding, I feel like. But, or, I mean, again, if Orlock is some magical, mystical being or some shit, then I guess we could have a birthmark that looks like a fleur-de-lis. I don't know. But anyway. So we'll find out. But like, damn, it's so much fun. Kind of makes me feel like we should go down Nicola's route after this, instead of doing, like, Orlock or Yang. But then again, we'll see what happens as we go through and just, like... I just feel like it makes more sense if these are the only two open, that we should do them first, and then do the Orlock Yang, and then do the... You know, then do the Gilbert. Because he's the last one that's open, so... Anyway, later! Leo came by to see what was going on, and I told him all that had happened. I see. Leo frowned a bit after listening to my story, then began to speak. If you knew about this, puppy. I'm sure the boss had this all planned out. Has this all planned out. Planned out? He's head of the Falzone family. He's the fearless leader of everyone here. Leo's eyes were glistening with pride. I could tell he fully trusted Dante from the bottom of his heart. So there's no way he would have lied to you for no reason. After all, the boss knows what it's like to lose a member of the family. Dante must have lost men loyal to him throughout his life. The former boss, Dante's father, has already passed away as well. I understand that he knows what it's like to lose someone precious to him. I wanted to trust Dante. Like, he knows what it's like to lose someone like a mother or father. So, did he think that telling me that, like, the woman that was like my mother is dead was going to be like, oh, okay. He knows how much that would suck. So, like, you think you'd be less inclined to do it. All I'm saying. Anyway. I wanted to trust Dante. The memory of Dante's emotions and the expressions he'd shown to me were replaying in my mind. No matter how you looked at it, Dante was hiding Sister Sophia's whereabouts from me. I felt betrayed, especially since I had begun to slowly build trust in him. Well, it's all because every time there's always just like one scene. So I guess we probably... All right, we'll do the thing. Whoops. We'll do it as soon as it pops up because it's usually like one thing, but then this seems like it's going to be more, so. All right, all ears. I really do like this effect. It's kind of cool. Others. Oh. 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 Oh my god, Orlock really is working with Yang. Isn't he fucking gorgeous? Look at this fucker. Look at this shady ass motherfucker. He is just some kind of precious. I can't tell you, he is beautiful, and I hope he's evil as fuck because I just want to enjoy the shit out of it. So it's the two of them. I think these might be the two kids that we saw in the earlier thing. Hey, Faye! Faye? Look. I can do Japanese, I can't do Chinese, so I know that there's different pronunciations, but whatever. I heard something pretty interesting. Oh, okay. That was the girl. I don't know. Interesting? Wait, that means you were eavesdropping on Yang, weren't you, Lan? Lan? I couldn't help myself. We don't get guests from the church every day. Well, I guess so. So what were they talking about? It sounded like a strange story. A fairy tale? Something about the church? Ah, that kid. What was his name again? Orlock? He's the one working for that Roseburg guy, right? Redford? Roseburg? Redford? I'm just saying. What the hell has happened? I don't know. Roseford could be someone else, but I'm just saying. Redford, Roseburg. It's too close. It's too close. Oh my god. Everyone's in on it. Everyone's in on it. Everyone's shady. I love it so much. I don't know what's happening. Yep. He came to share some intel with us. He said something about the Roz guy going against us if we act out of line. Huh. He also said something about the Falzone protecting something. Oh, that sounds interesting. Come on, Lon. Give me details. Could be Lan or Lon, I'm not sure. Okay. Give me details, bitches! The fuck? Oh my god, that's so cool. Ooh, the first time you see Yang, he's just there. Just there. Just standing there. But he's something else. He's beautiful. They're all fucking beautiful. I can't even. Carlo came to me and rubbed his back against my ankles as if to console me. Thank you, Carlo. I slowly stroked his soft back while feeling a sharp pain aching inside my chest. Days passed without a chance for me to speak with Dante. It had also been a while since I last saw Sister Sophia, until one day... I'm coming. I couldn't hide my surprise, since I was expecting Leo to be on the other side of the door. Oh. That's not how I wanted them to come out. It was like, I couldn't hide my surprise, and I was like, it's Sister Sophia! And then it was Dante. I'm like, oh, no. I didn't mean to sound so disappointed. I love Dante, but I really thought it was going to be Sister Sophia. She's like, I haven't seen Sister Sophia. And then, there's a knock on the door? Why would he be letting her walk around and just knocking on her door? Well, that explains it. She's like, oh, it's you. Space, you have a moment. You don't get to call me Space anymore. But please, come in. I came to apologize. Dante mumbled his words quietly, then handed me a gift. He's so awkward. Huh? I lied to you about Sister Sophia's death, despite knowing it would cause you suffering. I forced you to spend days in sorrow and despair over a false event. Yeah, you're kind of a dick. No matter the reason, the fact that I hurt you has no justification. I'm truly sorry for what I've done. Will you accept my apology? He offered a bouquet of red roses to me to show his sincerity and ask for forgiveness. He's such a fucking marshmallow. I awkwardly reached out for the roses and took them in my arms. This could be misinterpreted. I saw that choice in the guide and I was like, I was expecting something a little sultrier, but okay. You do know that offering roses like this could be misinterpreted. Crimson red roses were also used to express love for another person. I mean, I think he secretly loves a little bit. I'm just saying. I doubt he has any intentions of showing his love, but I mean, maybe not right now, but I'd never been given roses like this before, so my words came out quite harsh. But Dante didn't show any anger, and instead smiled at me. He's so fucking adorable when he smiles. Yes, you're right. I couldn't tell what his gentle smile was trying to convey, but I could feel my heart racing and my cheeks stung with embarrassment. So then, why did you lie before? There must have been a good reason. Okay, so like that, she's like, oh, I'm being embarrassed. That doesn't bother me because she's like, this could be misinterpreted. He's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, oh, wait, it's weird. Because like she's pretty stand-up-ish all the time. So the little moments where she feels embarrassed don't feel like, again, it's like, yeah, no, I kind of feel like I can understand it this time. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, she's pretty like upfront and like, yeah. So I don't mind, like, because I know I always bitch about the embarrassment things, but this is more like I get that, where she's like, I just said something kind of dumb. Like, or like, oop, that came out awkward, you know, but plus he's a little fucking awkward, which is just fucking cute as shit. Anyway. So then, why did you lie before? There must have been a good reason. No matter what I say, it'll only be an excuse, and will diminish my apology to you. I understand. I'm not looking for excuses either. But I do want to hear the truth. I love that look on his face. He's like, I don't know how to fucking tell the truth. If Sister Sophia wasn't hurt, why would you need to lie to me about her death? Sister Sophia and our family have been connected for a long time. Sister Sophia and the Falzone family? I didn't want you to know that. This was also to protect her. The Mafia protected the town, so it was no surprise that they'd also be connected to its people. But it isn't ideal for a sister of the church to be connected to the Mafia. So you lied to protect Sister Sophia's name? Is that it? You wouldn't have believed me if I had said that we didn't know what happened to her. So you said she died? You could have just said she was fine. I don't know. What are your options? Like, my options are, I don't know. She's fine. She's dead. Well, you wouldn't believe me if I said I don't know. So I'll go with she died. That sounds good. No, baby, you should have just told me she was fine. Oh my god. So you said she died. Just want to reiterate that. Yes. Once you're connected to the Mafia, you cannot escape so easily. You should know that as someone who's grown up here in Berlone. Yes. Knowing anything about the Mafia can be life-threatening to the citizens. If so, then Dante lied to me so that I wouldn't get involved in their duties? I may be over-speculating, but no. Dante would surely... He sent me books to help pass the time and relieve my mind of its troubles. He allowed me to join in with everyone to enjoy our meals together. He sent me a kitten. He sent me Carlos so I wouldn't be alone. He had been caring for me all this time. I said it was just coincidence that I was there when you were attacked. What actually happened was that Sister Sophia contacted me to come. I told you. Like, that was too... Like, look, they could have done it where she contacted someone else and then fucking he was there, but like, I mean, it seemed to point, obviously, to her calling him, so. Sister Sophia asked for your help? And that's why you were there? Dante nodded slowly, his blue eyes showing hesitance. I can't say much more, at least not for now. I calmly looked at him and nodded my head in acknowledgement. Thank you for sharing this with me, Dante. There's still more that's unclear, but the question that had been burning in my mind had finally been answered. I felt a warmth fill my chest as I carefully held the roses close to me. Their fragrance filled the air, enveloping me. As Dante looked at me, his expression was the same as before, but I wasn't scared of him anymore. The roses adorned the windowsill as the moonlight shone upon its beautiful petals. Upon their beautiful petals. It's not just one. Although it looked like one in this little picture that they gave you, but she said like a bouquet, so. I still don't know who Dante really is. What he sees as boss is different from what I see. But I guess I can say with some certainty that he's a very kind person. I didn't expect someone so cold to apologize as sincerely as he did. He is a boss, isn't he? See, it literally is one rose, but it's supposed to be a bouquet unless it's a giant fucking rose. Like, unless they're calling it a bouquet of roses, which is just one. That makes no sense, but technicalities. I reached out to the roses and rubbed a petal between my fingers. Thinking about what happened was still making my heart race. I mean, this is the first time I've ever received roses from a man. Aren't they pretty, Carlo? I smiled, looking up at the roses and stroking the small Carlo in my lap. Sister Sophia's alive. That truth washed away all my troubles and relieved my soul of its grief. Thank God. Thank you. The starry night was glimmering beautifully. I think I can sleep well tonight. So I do like, okay, I know I was wary because like she grew up in the church, but she grew up in the church, so she has chapter 3, ambivalence? I'm just guessing. But like, so she's got her moments where she'll like be like, oh, thank God. And like, she says her, but she's not overly like shoving religion in your face where you're like, oh, dear God. But like, I mean, it's part of her personality. Like she grew up in the church. She like was an orphan there. She was taken care of. She's dealing with and then like, so it's part of her, but it's not overbearing where someone like me who is not religious and just like, well, it's nothing to do with that basically is like, God, it's so, you know what I mean? It's like, no, it's fine. Like, it's just a little thing. It's part of her personality and that's cool. I don't know. Like it works. It's fine. So, and I do like that they do keep putting it in here and there, like little things, because it is a part of her. It's been her whole life. So, of course, she'd still, you know, say grace over dinner or like, thank God for Sophia. I mean, wouldn't we all like, oh, thank God she's alive? But like, we wouldn't be like, as like her, like, thank you, God. Like, you know, we'd say it with different like intent, but I like that they at least keep that up with her and it's not like they just like, oh, she grew up in the church, but we just forget about that. But it's also not overbearing. Like, so. I stood in front of Dante's office, took a deep breath and knocked on the door. Come in. I hope everything went well, Dante. I brought you cafe latte and a baba. Baba? 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 Baba. A cake steeped with rum-flavored syrup. Whoa! That sounds lushy. I was just drunk thinking about it. You can put them... As Dante pointed to his desk, his phone rang. Who is it? I see. Well, I'll be going. I hurriedly placed the dolce on his desk and tried to leave as quietly as possible. But... Dante was still on the phone, but he gestured something to me. Is he telling me to stay? He's like, I don't speak gestures. As I wondered what he was trying to relay, he spoke into the phone again. Connect me. Is it really all right for me to be here? The call connected and Dante spoke in his usual calm tone of voice. A word of warning, Paris. Stay away from gambling. I can accept your disagreement with the Falzone family, but keep in mind that our ties end the moment we part ways. That's fine. I'll be waiting. Dante coldly and abruptly ended the call. He then raised his face to look at me. I have kept you waiting. Oh, not at all. I'm fine. Was there something you needed from me? He's like, I just want to look at you. Dante sipped the warm cafe latte on the desk, and after a brief pause, spoke. Let me guess. Julia told you to bring my drink here. Yes, everyone in the kitchen was busy, so I was the only one who could come. Apologies. This was the responsibility of our housemaid. Not at all. I've been under everyone else's care, so I'm pleased to be able to help. I'm sorry for disturbing you. I'll be careful next time. Did you make this baba? Baba? I'm assuming. Yes, though I did learn the recipe from Julia. Dante reached for the fork to take a bite. He chewed slowly as if to savor it. He likes sweet, so he's like, it's good. And then when we leave, he's like, oh my God, it's so good. I waited, unsure of what he wanted from me. He took another sip of his cafe latte. The dolce is quite delicious. My heart tightens seeing his sweet smile and gentle words of praise. I know, he really does have a sweet smile. Like, he always looks so angry and like whatever, and he's got a beautiful face, and then he does this, and you're like, ah, so cute. All right, you know what? Doing him first was a good idea. And actually, as much as I love Nicola, and I'm like, my eyes drawn to him a little bit more between the two of them, because some of the CGs I saw of him, I was like, hi, gorgeous. All the CGs in this game are going to be fucking gorgeous. All the ones that we've gotten of Dante are fucking gorgeous, and I can't handle it. I do think this was the right route choice to do his first, because then I think you see him, okay, and then we don't really know. Maybe we'll find out in this what the fucking deal with Nicola is, but I kind of like that we didn't go down Shady McShaderson's fucking route first, because, like, you get Dante, he's pretty straightforward. He's straightforward. I don't think he's a mafia boss. He's trying to be cold on the outside, but he's squishy on the inside. Like, he's just straightforward, easy. Easy breezy beautiful. He's cover girl, okay? And Nicola is like, the fuck are you hiding? You're being shady. So I feel like you get the nice, soft, okay, great route. And then you go down Nicola and you're like, now we go down the shady fucking route. We went through the nice, sunny path and now we go on the shady route home, okay? Like, and then after Nicola, then we do the really shady fucking routes. So, like, votes in now, because maybe if you leave comments now, by the time I get to those routes, we'll get to them. I'll be able to do them, but I think we'll do Nicola next. But then after Nicola, do we go for Orlock or do we go for Yang? Leave your thoughts now, because I will take them under advisement. Also, look out on Twitter, because I might be posting when we get to that point. Although, I don't really know if it's going to help, because I feel like we'll need to see how the routes go and what makes sense. And by the time you see and you get to that point, I'll have already recorded that whole route. By the time you see any of this, I've probably finished this route. I'm trying to stay ahead, especially because now we are drowning in Atome games. We're going to get so behind. I'm so afraid. And you know what happened the last time I was ahead? I was ahead. Everything was great. Hard drive crash. Lost 40 hours of fucking work. So I'm still not over it, all right? 2020 is a fucking bitch. But yeah, I mean, there might be a sense after Nicola might make sense. Like, oh, no, Orlock would be better or whatever. I don't think it matters. I don't think there's a route order, but I guess it'll be depending on what you guys think now. Orlock, Yang, you got to see them both. Who knows? Or like, if it makes more sense as we're playing Nicola's route, like, oh yeah, no, it makes more sense to do this one first. But leave your thoughts if you have one for that. Gilbert's last, whether we like it or not, so anyway. My heart tightens seeing his sweet smile and gentle words of praise. Really? I stuttered a bit with my reply, and Dante chuckled. Okay, I can't... really? Can't blame her for that, because that's how I feel. Grazie. Oh, it was my pleasure. Couldn't believe how flustered I was from our casual conversation. That's because you think he's hot. I feel you. I cleared the dishes and utensils from Dante's desk and exited his office. So we just stand there watching him eat instead of coming back later. He caught me off guard when he praised me, but I'm glad he liked it. The next day, I visited the kitchen around the time that Julia's chores were about settled. Julia? About the baba we served yesterday. I meant to report back to her, but she was so busy that I decided to wait until today. Dante said it was delicious. I just wanted you to know that. Julia smiled at my sudden report in obvious excitement. Ah, that's good to know. The baba was baked to perfection. Leo told me before that Dante likes sweets, but I didn't know exactly how much, and then Dante just had the entire thing. I was sure the young Dante likes sweets, but I think he's also... Sweet on you? Sounds pretty busy outside. Is it coming from the entrance? Ah, well, let me get some coffee ready. It's a rather cold day today, after all. As Julia prepared the coffee, she turned to ask me a favor. If you don't mind, could you go to the salon and see how many people should be served? I'd be happy to. I quickly headed out to the salon. Oh god, this is probably bad. Huh. Where is everyone? Usually when they returned, they took a break in the salon, but there was no one around. Something wasn't right. I tilted my head a bit as I returned to the kitchen. Surprise! It's a birthday party! Say, Julia? I went to the salon, but no one was there. Is Julia missing? Where did everyone go? No one's there? Oh, I see. And they must have stepped out again. Oh, whatever happened, it must be urgent. Everyone must be really busy. It felt a bit odd, but I nodded in agreement. I noticed Julia smiling at me gently. I was really worried that, like, oh my god, we're gonna get kidnapped. I'm like so fucking tense in this game. Like, no one's here. Oh god, we're gonna get stabbed. Huh, I'll go back to the kitchen. Oh god, Julia's dead. What the fuck game are we playing? Indeed. Oh, why don't you have a rest? There's nothing else to do at the moment, so you may as well go back to your room. All right, come to think of it, Leo might be anxious if he sees I'm not in my room. Do let me know if anything happens, Julia. I'll help with preparations when everyone returns. Thank you very much. As I left the kitchen, I waved to Julia, who saw me off with a smile. Huh, looks like Carla was fast asleep. Maybe I'll read a book while I still can. I picked out a book from the batch that Leo brought to me, then settled into a chair. Look at me, casually reading a book while listening to music in this room. I'm also wandering the manor freely and making sweets with Julia. I hope it's just like music without lyrics, because how can you read and listen to music at the same time? Oddly enough, I can actually probably read and watch TV at the same time because I'm not really paying attention to the TV, but music I pay attention to. Unless it's just like, you know, instrumental or whatever. I could absolutely do that. But if it's got lyrics, it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm listening to the lyrics. I can't read while doing it. Oh. I could tell my disposition changed. Maybe I've grown accustomed to living here with the Falzone family. In fact, I can tell that I'm enjoying the comfort of my days here. I hardly had any time to myself back at the church when I looked after the children. And not that I didn't like working from morning to night, but this is a moment where she's like, you know what, this might be nicer. Wait a minute. If I'll eventually return to my normal life, then I might as well enjoy my time here with the Falzone while I can. Life here was something the old me could only dream of. And it was a life that would fade away in time. And you know what sucks too is that, like, at first you're like, okay, yeah, this is nice. And then you go back to your real life and you're like, oh, it was a nice vacation. But the longer you're here, the more accustomed to this you become. And then you go back to your old life and you're like, ah, fuck, what? Shut up, John. Ugh. You like, don't want to deal with the fucking kids anymore. And you're like, and I don't want to climb the trees with you. I just want to take a nap like I used to. And then like, maybe I should enjoy my time here to the fullest. But I still want to see Elena and the rest. I wonder if they're doing all right. Maybe Elena was working for Yang. I don't know. Like, she disappeared and she's like, oh, the stuff fell. And I was like, maybe she's being shady. Maybe she's shady as fuck. She's got red hair. He's got red hair. They're fucking related. It's a sister. And again, Gilbert kind of has reddish brown hair. You know what's interesting? Huh. Yang's got red hair. Orlock pretty much has white hair. Dante's hair is like purple. I'm sure it's supposed to be like a silvery blonde, but it's like, it's fucking like purpley colored. Like, Nicola's like a dirty blonde, I guess. And Dante's like a reddish brown. There's nobody has like black hair or like normal brown hair. Brown hair is like hard. They're like, nah, fuck that shit. We want everyone to be blonde. Like, everyone's blonde. What the fuck? Everyone's got like white hair. But then again, sometimes they do it and then they're like, well, green hair. And you're like, okay, sure. I'm coming. I mean, it's Italy, but you know, some Italians have dark hair. I'm just saying. Someone knocked on the door. I opened it to find an unexpected guest. Oh, hello there. Coming in. Nicola, I didn't know you were here. He didn't respond to that and instead spoke to me abruptly. Can I borrow you for a moment? Sure, I'm available. Then follow me. Do we trust him? I don't know. Not knowing what he wanted, I left the room and followed Nicola. Oh, they flipped the hallway. Nicola quietly walked down the hall. Something didn't feel right. He wasn't speaking like he usually did. When he came in, he's like, "Can I borrow you?" I was like, "Oh God, something shady's going down." Look, I love him, but I don't know if we trust him. Nicola? Is there something the matter? Nicola stopped and turned towards me. I wanted to show you something. Show me something? Dante and Sister Sophia! Oh, why are you making out like that? I'm just kidding. Before I can ask him what that was, he turned back around and started walking again. Something definitely isn't right. This right here is just Nicola. Something definitely isn't right with you. That describes him to a T, but I love him. What does he want to show me? Despite a strong feeling of dread, I continued to follow him to find out. And again, feeling of dread. It's the Shiraishi motherfucker. Like, cells? I didn't know they had these in the basement of the manor. Something was telling me that I really shouldn't be here. Still holding up, are you? Don't go cold to me now. Come on, spill it already. Deep in the cell quarters, I could hear the Falzone family interrogating someone. Okay, they're the mafia. Of course they're doing this shit. And, like, I feel like Nicola is trying so hard to get you to fucking run away. Like, why? He doesn't want you with, like, again, is he trying to undermine Dante as a love interest? As, like, whatever? Like, or is he something even more sinister, like, well, if she runs away from Dante, then, like he's working with somebody else to, you know what I mean? Like, to undermine Dante as a boss, right? As opposed to, like, I'm actually his buddy. Like, how shady is his shade, okay? But, like, we're going to show this and we're going to, like, what? We're going to be so upset. I can't believe Dante would torture people. He's in the mafia. You're lucky. Torture? I mean, he shoots them in the face. Girl, like, I mean, you had to know. You were like, I mean, seeing it's different than just knowing it's happening. And you'd rather be like, I'm just going to pretend I don't know what's happening. It'll be easier for me. But, like, like, Nicola, what the fuck? Anyway. And the fact that Nicola's showing us this, it's like, you just shot a guy in the fucking forehead. You shot a guy between the eyes! He silently bid me to look inside the cell. I slowly peeked inside from the stairs. Oh God, who is it? Someone we know? Oh God, is it Elena? Oh, it's Faye. I saw the Falzone family glaring at a young boy bound and held on both sides. In front of him was a large barrel filled to the brim with water. Oh my God, are they water torturing him? Is that Dante? Dante was standing with his back on the wall, looking at the boy from a distance. You had to know he was doing that. It's okay, Spacey. Like, she's gonna... I understand, like, you know it's happening. Like, you probably had to know. But that they were doing... they're the mafia! You know that they're bad people. And everyone's like, we still... Like, I wasn't expecting them to be so nice. And then they do this. I understand the shock of it at first would be like... but at some point, you gotta be like, yeah, no, I should have known. Seeing it's different. I don't want to ever see it again. But, like, I had to know. Like, seeing it is definitely different than just knowing or just in your mind going, I'm sure it happens. I don't need to see it happen. But she can't, like... But Nicola's showing her to, like, kind of... So shady. Damn, I love the shady bitch. No use. I'm not going to say anything. For having such a pretty face, I didn't expect the Falzone's boss to be so sadistic. The young boy calmly spoke to Dante with a sneer. Despite his bravado, his face was pale from being repeatedly dunked into the water. Faye, was it? If you're working for Yang, you should have known that by now. The Mafia's at war. Morals mean nothing. Violence is all that matters. I never heard Dante's voice so cold and unsettling like this before. The Lao Shu have crossed the line, poisoning our people. So, like, technically they deserve it, although, poor Faye. I'm sure that's not how you say his name, but that's how we're saying his name, so just deal with it. Heh! Line, you say? Where's this line you speak of? Instead of answering the young boy, Dante continued speaking. The Lao Shu are selling drugs disguised as candy to our people. This caramella, as you call it, is poison that can break one's mind and body. So like opium? Ha! Well, I can vouch that normal candies taste better than that. You couldn't care less what you people do in Valena with that drug of yours, but I won't let you poison Falce. Like Dolce? Falce? That's what I'm just assuming. That's where I'm going with that, so I don't know. There's no excuse for the Lao Shu to be breaking rules as a member of the Mafia. Dante stared at the young Fae with a cold and intimidating look on his face. I know she's probably going to be like, dude, he's just a boy, but Spacey, not all kids are innocent like Jean and Laura. Do it. I feel like he'd be... Yeah, he's flailing. Up. You're wasting your time. I won't speak even if you kill me. I mean, if we kill you, you're definitely not going to speak. I'm just saying. Damn brat. Looks like he's still got some juice in him. Yeah. I couldn't believe what was happening. I could tell I was losing I could tell I was losing consciousness from the dankness and smell of blood in the air. I couldn't keep myself standing any longer. With perfect timing, there was a momentary silence as everyone stopped speaking. The sound of my heels resonated through the cells. Who's there? Nicola propped me up by the arms and casually led me out in front of everyone. Look at this fucking... This is his normal look, but it seems shady as fuck. How? Oh! God, this bitch. Sorry to bother you folks. Nicola, the young lady. And Dante's like, I mean, I'm surprised that we didn't go running and then Nicola's like, oh, it's just me. What? Nothing. You know what I mean? Or I just found her here. Like, how are you gonna fucking play this? This bitch! We were looking for a kitten. I have to say, he's quite the feisty one. I thought he ran in here. Have you seen him, Dante? No. I guess I was wrong. Well, we'll search for him outside then. Nicholas spoke as if everything was normal. He then pulled me by the shoulder and turned to go back up the stairs. I want to leave this place quickly. But I couldn't get my legs to move. Dante nodded his head, to which his men immediately reacted. Understood. Space? What's the matter? Nicola tilted his head and spoke my name, seeing that I was unable to walk. I stood there, frozen in place. It's funny that Dante's like, yeah, no, Cat's not here. Keep frowning the kid. Like, he doesn't, no fucks given. Not even worried about me seeing this. He's like, whatevs. I wanted to stop what was happening. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to say. Dante, please stop. He's still a child, isn't he? I could tell he was a member of the Lao Shu, and that he did something terribly wrong. Even then, I couldn't turn a blind eye to the violence in front of me. I mean, you know, I spend a lot of time around kids. Please don't do such terrible things to him. I know I had no right to say it, but I wanted them to stop this torture. Though I'd mustered every ounce of courage to speak, I could hear my voice shaking. I mean, here's the only thing I hope. Like, she's soft and sweet, right? Innocent. He's actually a marshmallow, okay? But he still has to torture people to keep shit in line, and like, I hope the fuck when we go down the routes of like being in love with them, we don't change them. And he's like, no, everything will be sparkles and rainbows and we'll never torture anyone. If there's anyone that we disagree with, we'll solve it with hugs. I really hope that's not it. I really hope that we get to the point where he's like, no, the Lao Shu crosses on my motherfucking line. I'm going to shoot them in the fucking face. And she's like, yep, no, I understand, honey. Good job. She's like, where are you off to, Dante? And he's like, I gotta go drown a bitch. And she's like, hope it's clean. Don't let them get away. I hope they suffer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're the mafia. They're always going to be shady fucking bastards. So I hope they just stay shady bastards. Because, like, us changing them with the power of love. Like, look, we always change the cold, frigid asshole with the power of love. But not enough to the point where he's like, turns into a fucking Care Bear, okay? Like, look, Care Bears are cute and all, but not in this. I don't need no Care Bear Mafia. Wow, that's an idea. That's traumatizing. Care Bear stare! I mean, Care Bears hug you to fucking death. You're unhappy and we're gonna hug you till you're happy! Like, just happy threaten you. Weird. Care Bear Mafia. Wow. Awesome. Their little fedoras. Like, have the little pin on it that matches their little, like, tummy stamps. Dante stared at me with his cold eyes, then spoke in an even colder tone. You're thinking of the Care Bear Mafia now, and you think it's funny, too. Traumatizing and funny and amazing. This has nothing to do with you. Actually, it kind of does. Dante! His eyes narrowed, hearing me speak his name. Oh, he looks angry. Please shove me against a wall. For a moment, he seemed to hesitate, but his response was no different. Space, don't get in my way. He listened to what I said before, but I don't have the right to get involved with the Falzone family. I'm an outsider to them. Get away. The reality that I wasn't a part of their family struck me hard, to the point where I couldn't say anything else. Let's see. Up. Understood. He's been underwater for a long time. I think he's dead now. So, feel like talking now? How many times do I need to say this? The young boy looked at me. His face twisted as he began to chuckle. The Key Maiden? Huh? The key what? Haha! Now we get something. Where did you hear that? Dante's eyes focused on the young boy upon hearing those words. His eyes weren't just cold. They also showed hints of a murderous rage. We're the Key Maiden because we have the thing. You're unworthy to speak of such things. Be wary of what you say next. Unless, of course, you wish to die sooner. Wait, what is this Key Maiden? Dante didn't answer my question, but squinted and silently waved me away. What was that? Was he referring to me? Are we done? Let's go, Space. Wait, Nicola, I'm not... Nicola gripped my shoulder firmly, then pulled me sharply towards him. He led me out of the dank and cold underground cell. Like, you brought me here, bitch! Don't get tooty with me. With Nicola's help, I somehow made it back to the salon. Here, cafe latte. Be careful, it's hot. I love this shady fucking bastard. Nicola handed the cup to me, but I couldn't bring myself to take a sip. What I just saw back in that cell shook me. I'm sorry for what you saw back there. If you're sorry, you shouldn't have showed it to me. Don't give me that sweet fucking face, you bastard. God, I love him. Was that what you wanted to show me? Why? Why did you... I didn't want to leave you in the dark. And no matter how kind or nice we are to you, you have to remember we're still the Mafia. I wanted to make sure you understood that the worlds we live in are different. He is like, do not fuck up my shit and go falling in love with Dante. He's mine, bitch. That kind of seems like a threat, like, our worlds are different. You go back to the church where you belong, goody two-shoes is my man. Like, if fucking Nicola were a woman, that would so be a fucking threat. Like, don't step up on her man. So funny. I couldn't say anything in response. It was true that I was starting to forget who they were outside of the manor. I was just beginning to think that they weren't as scary as they seemed. Or, like, I mean, maybe Nicola's trying... I mean, this could also be Nicola trying to protect the family, too. Like, don't you come up in here with your fucking goody two-shoes god shit and then think you're gonna change our family. We're different. We're murderers. Don't you start that shit with me. You're making fucking Dante soft, bitch. Because we kind of are making him a little soft. He's like, I saw him snuggling that kitten. He normally would never do that shit. Damn it. But it was far from reality. They'd resort to anything to attain their goals, even violence. Or he's thinking like, hey, if Dante never gets married and have kids, then the power goes to me, and I'm gonna whack Dante at some point. Mafia, fear. I mean, he's second in command. He's family, so. Those words began to resonate with me again. I was simply being treated well because I was in their custody. What they were at their core was far more sinister than I could have ever expected. Maybe I went too far in showing you our torture chamber. I'm sorry. Just to be clear, Dante isn't like this to everyone. He was acting that way only because that person kept pushing against us. The image surfaced again in my mind. The image of the young boy being tortured by the family's men. The image of Dante coldly and ruthlessly giving orders. I looked down to see my cup shaking. My hands... Nicola gently cradled my hands ever so lightly. Don't worry, I don't do things like that. You're such a whore. Take your time. Once you're done with your drink, I'll escort you back to your room. I don't do things like that. I just shoot them point blank in the face. We know, bitch. We saw him. Don't be lying. I love him. I nodded in silence at Nicola's sweet and gentle voice. I love Dante. I love all of them so far. I mean, look. I love the way Yang looks, but he might be the one that breaks me where I'm like, he's so pretty, but he's a psycho. I don't know. But they're all beautiful, and like, Dante and Nicola, I really both love them. I really both love them both. I really do love them both. Like, anyway. I nodded in silence at Nicola's sweet and gentle voice. See? That's why I love him. His sweet, gentle voice. He seems sweet and innocent. He's shady. Fucking D. Okay? And like, Dante's our fucking marshmallow. And I love him for different reasons. I love them both for being just that amazing. As soon as I returned to my room, I crumpled into a heap on the bed. I guess I didn't know how things really were all along. All I could do was watch that brutal violence play out in front of me. I saw the dark side of the Falzone family, which I was starting to think didn't exist. Or maybe I was simply turning a blind eye to what was happening around me, curious about the key maiden thing. Even so, what options did I have? That definitely has to do with our birthmark. Like, we knew we were the special, but so key maiden. Woo, okay, a little more of a clue. So what does that actually mean? No answers came to mind, right? I need to step out for a moment. I slowly stood up and exited the room to get a breath of fresh air. We have 3 meanwhile stories in this chapter. Carlo. It seemed like Carlo was playing out in the garden. He perked up and dashed toward me. I picked Carlo up in my arms and stroked his soft back while trying to gather my thoughts. I slowly inhaled and exhaled in an effort to calm myself. I was at the church that night by coincidence when Dante took custody of me. Or, at least that's what I thought, but was my abduction a coincidence at all? When Dante came to my room with roses to apologize... I can't say much more, at least not for now. I believe that's what he said. He said there was more, so that means he must be holding something back. Something wasn't right. He said that he came to save me when he received a call from Sister Sophia. But why would a boss himself come down to rescue a normal civilian? If anything, he would have sent his men to handle the situation in his stead. Or maybe there was something about me. The young boy in the cell called me the Key Maiden, right? If there was something special about me, it would explain Dante's odd behavior. It's kind of funny how it's true, but it's funny how she just leaps to that. Like, don't you think you'd be like, why me? What the fuck? Instead of being like, maybe I'm special. Like, it's just funny. But there isn't anything special about me at all. Ooh, meanwhile story, doubt. There isn't anything special about me at all. Dante, she's so special. Oh, this is Nicola. Nice. Pretty stubborn rat, isn't he? He isn't budging one bit. Why don't I go on a hunt and bring someone a bit more cooperative? I'll leave it to you. Understood. And if we extract the info? Exterminate him. He'll have served his purpose. Oh, and we should send his body back to Yang. Can't we at least use him for negotiation? I doubt Yang will be open to negotiations. He doesn't care much for his subordinates. We can't spare our men to watch over a single rat. If he somehow escapes, there's no telling what damage he'll do. Mind you, negotiations are only done with those who play fair. Lao Shu have broken our rules and cannot be trusted. I see. Understood. Oh, by the way, the hunt within Falche has been progressing nicely. I think it's safe to say that we've gotten rid of most of the dealers here. Well, that's about it for me. I prepared to leave when a stern, angry voice struck me from behind. What's your end goal, Nicola? I turned around slowly and smiled. I'm not sure what you mean. I love how Dante's like, the fuck, bitch? Why did you bring her down there? As I said, we just happened to pass by. We were simply looking for Carlo. Dante's like, bull. Fucking shit. Are we finished? Well, good night, Dante. Don't stay up too late. Even Dante is doubt. That's what the doubt is about. Dante doubts Nicola. Oh, dissension in the ranks. Okay, there isn't special about me. Despite my doubts, I couldn't seem to quell the rising wave of suspicion in my mind. I stood there in the midst of the autumn night, pondering over what was really going on. The next day, Leo came by as usual, but today he was looking at me with an inquisitive expression. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look so good. Huh? Really? Yeah, are you sick by chance? I can get the doctor to... I'm fine. I was just thinking. Thinking? About what? Well... Unable to hold myself back, I told Leo what I saw in the cell yesterday. Leo frowned, hearing my story, and began to speak in a perplexed tone. I see. Well, this is my job, so I need to do what's asked of me. But to be honest, I'm not exactly a fan of stuff like that. Leo. I could tell he was being careful with his words, keeping my feelings in mind. He's a sweet boy. He's such a sweetheart. Regardless, I felt relieved that there was someone like Leo here who thought that way. He's like a giant he's just a giant puppy. Don't you just want to cuddle him? You're just like, I just want to cuddle you and ruffle your hair, make me feel better. Like, it's like a giant teddy bear. It's adorable. Leo, do you know what a key maiden is? Key maiden? Never heard of it. Is that some kind of fairy tale? Oh, if you don't know, it's fine. Thank you. Come to think of it, the others in the cell didn't seem to know what that was either. Dante did. The key maiden? Huh? I love his snarky little smirk. Like, look at just the little snarky little mouth on him. It's adorable. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's just that little curve in the upper lip, like, like he's just being a little bitch. I love it. Key what? Where did you hear that? Dante knows. Seems that only Faye and Dante know what it is. I'd guess Nicola knows too. Oh, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. Huh? I must have been deep in thought. Leo noticed my troubled expression and offered to help me. Is there anything you're looking for? I might be able to get what you need. Oh no, you've already done so much for me, Leo. Well, how about flowers? Or maybe some baked goods from a local Penetaria? Bakery, maybe? Thank you, Leo. Your kind thoughts are more than enough right now. No, seriously. If there's anything you need, feel free to let me know. Well, I really don't... It was then that it struck me. I want to go to church. Huh? But that's... I want to see Sister Sophia. Everyone. Sister Sophia had been in contact with the Falzone family before, so maybe Sister Sophia knows what this key maiden is. I'm sorry, but I can't have you leave the manor just yet. I see. I'm sorry for asking. Not at all. I mean, I did say I'd do anything. I know it isn't possible, but it's just that I've been away from everyone for so long. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll see what I can do. We guilt this poor boy. We're like, it's just I'm so sad. I'll try. I can't do that. It's okay, Leo. All right. Huh? Don't expect too much from me, though. Thank you, Leo. He's so sweet. It wouldn't happen. I knew it wouldn't. Sharing. Nicola. Gilbert! We've already kind of met him, but looks like you've been cleaning up Felche recently. My guys need to take a page out of your book. Well, we've heard there's still an infestation to stamp out. Have you heard anything about the casino? You mean the Caramella dealers? I heard about them in my report. I like the fact that he's wearing an eye patch a la Enomoto. But like, what's the deal? Do you need it? Is it just there for decoration? Like, what's going on? Look at how he stands. Sassy fucking stands. Look, you're just hot in that vest. The vest is hot. And I know, like, the florally patterns on the jacket, like, the gold on his shoulder up there is not really supposed to be there, but it's a nice touch. The black shirt with the white vest. They dress so nice. I just love it. We need more games in the 20s where men dressed sexy. Anyway. Glad you're wise to it. An extermination at the casino would likely go a long way. But it's an Arca, so technically off limits for us to help out on our own. Which is why you came to see me, eh? I like how you tried to grease the wheels first. He is pretty. He's just like a pretty giant fucking bear of a man, isn't he? But in a delicate, like, narrow-waisted kind of way. But you know what I mean? He's just like Dante's like, compared to him, like, he's that broad-chested, he's like the manly man, like. But he's probably so gentle. I just love everyone in this game. This game is not good for me. It's not good for my heart. I'm gonna die. Yeah. By the way, I assume you know about the Lao Shu dabbling in slavery. They're using ships to send slaves to their country. We're planning on ending that too. Which means that Berlone is about to get pretty busy. The ocean is like Arca, an expanse that's technically off limits to us too. We're really sorry that we'll be involving those areas in our work. It's the Lao Shu's fault for breaking the rules. Might as well get rid of them now. The Visconti family won't intervene. Just make sure you clean up the place. Or, we can help if you'd like. We'll be fine. We don't want to bother you. Not yet, at least. Interesting. I was just happy that Leo cared enough to say that to me. After what I saw down in the cell, it's a bit awkward to speak with Dante, but I need to ask him about the key maiden. He probably won't answer me. Even so, I want to at least ask him to let me go back to the church. I waited until breakfast time before heading to the salon. It's like almost time, but we'll see if we can manage this in a few minutes. Huh, Dante's not around? I looked around to no avail and breathed a sigh of both relief and disappointment. What's the matter? Did you need to see young Dante? I wanted to ask him a favor. Did he step out for the morning? Do you know when he'll be back? He didn't mention when he'd return, so I imagine he won't be back until tonight. I see. My shoulders fell in disappointment. Julia noticed and spoke. If you're in a hurry, why not ask young Nicola instead? Nicola? I tried to remember what Nicola had said about it up until now. What happened to the church? How's Sister Sophia doing? I'm worried about whether everyone's safe. I'm sorry, but I can't answer that. I need Dante's approval before discussing what happened there. That might have been true, but everything else is so fucking shady. Nicholas said himself that he needs approval before taking action. But I guess talking to him could help. After all, Nicola may know something about the Key Maiden. Worst case scenario, I could still ask him when Dante might return. Alright. We'll do the meanwhile story because they're usually short. Informant. Is he down in the basement torturing people? That is Nicola. Right on time. A figure appeared in a quiet back alley. We're getting so deep in this. What's the word on Lao Shu? Oh, because we saw Orlock with them and I thought, was he working with them? Oh, he's working with everyone. I really do feel like Orlock was trying to actually protect us. I don't think he was, like, trying to kidnap us for the Lao Shu, but... They have a huge drug deal in place. Here's the information you need. Grazie. I appreciate the lengths you've gone to in supplying this information to us. His story matched what we heard from the Lao Shu member we interrogated. Guess I need to get our crew ready along with our special gift. I hastily returned to the manor, knowing things would be getting busier soon. I feel really bad if they killed Faye, though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the poor kid. Excellent. Okay, I'll talk to Nicola. Thank you, Julia. Even the smallest bit of information would help me move forward in the right direction. I know what I need to do now. Dun dun dun. Perfect place to end it! Woohoo! Nicola's also away. I know, being shady. I don't know what's happening, but I love it. This is so great. So let's see. I'm kind of curious. Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, and then you get endings. Wow, so there's 9 chapters. We're like a third of the way through his route. Like, that's amazing. And maybe some of the later ones go faster, but that's actually, I mean, that's like, look, you knew it was going to be long, but like at the same time, it's like, this is like, what, 5 hours in now? I know for normal people, it doesn't take as long because like I stop, I talk, like whatever. But I can't imagine people just play the game, read it, skip. You don't stop and like think about like, even when I'm playing like, or doing, or reading it all, like on my own, I'm always stopping and like thinking about like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, whatever. And I'm always thinking about the things, not just like, if I just read, blah, 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 like read all the way through, I get to the end of the book and I'm like, what the fuck did I read? Like, I have to stop and like, do what I do here, stop and go, okay, so like, it's easier here because I'm talking to you as opposed to, okay, when I read books, I just talk to my damn self like this. Okay, nobody would know the difference between me recording or actually reading a book because I'd be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Ooh, I wonder if this is happening. What's going on with it? Otherwise, that's how I'm engrossed in a story is if I'm thinking about things or like whatever. Otherwise, I'll be like completely clueless. I'll get like, freaking sit there for 2 hours, read it and be like, the fuck did I just read? So anyway, but yeah. So like a third of the way? So like another at least 10 hours. What, really? I mean, there's going to be a lot of skipping more like when we get further in, but I mean, you'd think. I don't know, but it's long. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. All the games are long, but I'm just like, I just like to figure out how long is it going to take me to play this. Anyway, remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.